Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. When the capital city of France, Paris, says it wants to host the greenest ever Olympic Games this summer, what exactly do they mean by that? Well, turns out that means no air conditioning for athletes in their rooms. And if their test run on global star athletes is deemed successful, I guess, how much longer until they start recommending the same for our own homes and workplaces? Because get this, those athletes will be competing from late July into mid-August, with temperatures expected to reach over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The designers of the Athlete Village say they're looking at underground solutions and at having windows and blinds being shut all day, basically removing people from the healthy sunshine and casting them like blind naked mole rats into the darkness just so their rooms can stay about 80 degrees day and night? That sounds like a terrible proposition to me. And to the Olympic committees from Australia, Brazil, Canada, and Norway, which say they are clear on wanting air conditioning for their athletes. You think they want to miss out on nabbing the gold for their country after all the time and money spent on these athletes? Just so some Paris Olympic game planners can virtue signal about having the carbon footprint of the summer games that we saw in Rio in 2016 and London in 2012. But what does it matter if China and India keep belching out ever more actual pollutants into the environment because they don't care two whits about green anything, except where it makes the West more reliant on them and other potentially hostile nations for energy? Joining us now to discuss is Mark Morano, the founder of ClimateDepot.com. Mark, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you, Kara. Happy to be here. Yeah, this is insane.
It really is. I mean, are they trying to give these athletes heat stroke? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, this is going to be France in the summer. And yeah, they've even pointed out temperatures can get over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And this affects the entire Olympic Village. Now, what they do is they isolate the athletes and they put in this village, and it's sponsored by the governments. And the money is unlimited, right? I mean, this is from all the corporate. There's no amount of money they can spend. So they decide, we're not going to spend money. We're going to cut air conditioning. And these are athletes that are going to be competing in the heat. They're going to be dealing with media. They're going to be dealing with competitors. They're going to be dealing with their coaches, trainers, long, grueling days. They're going to get back to their rooms. They're going to want rehydration, relaxation, sleep, and they're going to want to be cool. Instead, as you mentioned, they're going to have the blinds shut. They're going to be sweating and up to 79 degrees, nearly 80 degrees. They're allowing it as a legitimate temperature. And this is all being done as the mayor of France. And I feel like I just want to quote her. We have to, quote, trust the science, because scientists are telling us the fact that we are on the brink of a precipice, meaning a climate disaster. That's the reason they're doing this. So maybe, Kara, we're looking at this wrong. Maybe you need to reconsider. If these athletes don't get sleep, go back, sweat, have to have all their windows sealed up when they're trying to rehabilitate themselves and refresh themselves the next day of competition, maybe the next time that hurricane's about to hit Florida, that Category 3, what if at the last second the hurricane curves off into the ocean, and the key tipping point reason was the athletes in France sweated their bleeps off during the Summer Olympics? What if the next time there's a tornado in Tornado Alley and you see the funnel cloud forming, what if it doesn't form into a massively destructive tornado in Oklahoma and instead breaks apart because these athletes sacrificed for the planet and followed the science? That's what the mayor of France wants you to believe. Mayor of Paris wants you to believe.
And it's crazy how many people will buy that too. And especially, like I said, some of these other nations are out there just chugging along, putting as much pollutants into the air as they want. And they're just kind of laughing at how we have star global athletes who are going to be sweltering in 80-degree temperatures inside their rooms. So they can't get away from the heat wherever they go, no matter how much they exert themselves. Oh, they get to cool off in 80-degree temperatures. And it reminds me how I think it was maybe a year or two ago, there was a story that came out in Spain. Somewhere in Spain, there was a similar edict that came down where I think a lot of shop stores, right, that they had to keep it at 80 degrees. You couldn't cool it off anything under 80 degrees in the summertime once again. So do you think that this shows perhaps more and more, if they can do it to star athletes, they're going to start not coming just after our stoves inside our houses, right, natural gas, but they're also going to say, hey, your thermostat's a little too low. You're going to have to let that thing go up to close to 80 degrees?